Phones are expensive. Let's take a look at the current quote-unquote flagships. We have our Google Pixel, $649. Now I must let you know that this is non-finance, full retail price. $649. The Samsung Galaxy S7, $672. The HTC 10, $648. And these prices are current as of this date of recording, which is October the 17th. And these are all current as to pricing on Verizon Wireless. So, HTC 10, $648. Pricing for the LG V20 has not been released, and obviously from carrier to carrier it'll vary, but we've been hearing anything from $700 to $800. You can buy a laptop for this kind of money. These phones truly are computers, especially on Android, because Android's got a full-on file manager, and for the average everyday person, you can get your work done quite easily, especially since for the longest time you could incorporate a mouse and keyboard onto an Android device. It is that open. And you can also hook up via Miracast to a Chromecast or an Amazon Fire TV stick or some other, even to your TV itself if the TV supports Miracast. You can hook up the screen on your Android device to your TV and have that as a nice big monitor. Now for me, that kind of blowing up from a 5-inch to a 42-inch TV with the exact same layout is not half bad. But understand that my situation is very unique and it is not the average person. I would prefer having the larger icons, but that's just me. I think for everybody else, though, that Android needs something. We're already well aware that Chrome OS is going to be running Android apps on upcoming hardware. So, in essence, Android is using, Chrome is using Android's app ecosystem to make it better. I think that the same needs to be held true on the other side of the fence, i.e., Chrome OS's layout as a desktop should be used to make Android better. Now, how would this work? Well, let's not forget. Okay, so we go back to our pricing. Pixel, $649. S7, $672. HTC 10, $648. And the LG V20 around $700. And these are supposedly the quote-unquote flagship top-of-the-line phones. Obviously, you can get something that is well under for a decent range. I myself, even though I like the Pixel, it is not my desired, or I shouldn't say not my desire, but I haven't necessarily settled on it yet. I'm also giving very hard consideration to the Motorola Z-Droid Play. That being said, if you're going to spend $700 on a phone, then it's got the processing power, it's got the credentials. I think that if you're going to have a system where you can take your phone and you're going to be able to hook up a mouse and keyboard to it, and extend its display to your TV, if you're going to do that, then I think Android needs to have a secondary interface on board triggered only when it's hooked up to a larger monitor with a mouse and keyboard, and that is the Chrome OS layout. So the main reason for that is because, again, $700, $600, $700, $800, that's the price of a full computer. Android phones are full computers. You got expandable storage, you got a full file manager, you've got pretty much everything you need to be productive these days. The only thing for me that's missing is the ability to add and work with, I can work with my folders, but I can't add new ones on the Gmail mobile app. That is the only downside I'm seeing. But I think in order to justify the higher price of these phones, Android, just as Android apps have helped out Chrome OS, so too should the Chrome OS desktop environment help Android by coming to life whenever your phone is hooked up to a mouse, keyboard, and display. Now, am I discounting hardware that's already out there for Chromebooks? No, of course not. I mean, we've got a Samsung Chromebook Pro coming out that's supposed to have a 6-core ARM chip with 4 gigs of RAM and 32 gigs of onboard storage and a stylus. So that's pretty neat stuff. And it's an all-in-one portable solution. Whereas if you were to take a keyboard, a mouse, your phone, and a giant TV, that's separate components you'd have to put together. And especially if you travel, I can see where at some point that might be difficult versus just carrying around a Chromebook that can do the same thing. Now, am I saying that this should be implemented tomorrow? No, of course not. Am I saying that this should be replacing Chromebooks? Of course not. What I'm saying is, if you're going to charge upwards of a mobile computer for a phone, then the phone needs to be able to emulate a mobile computer. Microsoft has already tried this with their dying, not the Lumia line, what is it? There's an HP. HP did something to incorporate Microsoft's, what do they call it? Something. I can't remember the name. It's the feature where you can dock your phone and it turns into a desktop environment. Android needs that. And I think that the Chrome OS desktop layout is perfect for it. And again, I'm not trying to replace Chromebooks. This Chromebook, the Samsung Chromebook Pro, which is not the one pictured, by the way. The one pictured is the Pixel, but by Google. But the Chromebook Pro is going to be $499, which is interesting. If you think about it, that's even cheaper than a lot of these flagship phones. If you're going to charge upwards of a mid to high-end computer for a phone at full price for these high-end flagships, and I stress this is specifically for the high-end flagships, not for the mid-range or the low end of the market, but for the high-end flagships, if you're going to charge that much, then I think that it warrants having the ability to have a desktop environment in which you can run your apps. Now, this has been tried in the past, and it's flopped. But now that contracts are gone, and now that for new consumers, now that contracts are gone, and now that people are beginning to see the true pricing of these phones, if they don't want to go on financing, that's an exorbitant amount of money to pay. So I think that to help justify the cost, a desktop environment should come to Android and only be activated when it's hooked up to external sources. But what do you guys think? Thank you for watching. Comments are welcome, and have a nice day.